Anyway, so what this is essentially an internal, it's almost an internal PRM between partnerships and sales, so that sales has the transparency and partnerships is still able to run their operations inside of, in this case, Airtable.
Yeah.
This is the front end UI that can be used internally or externally. I think you built it for internal use, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and we talked about using a third party. So Stacy and I were going back and forth about Stacker versus a couple other options. Stacker is a tool that sits on top of Airtable and allows you to create anything you want that is more of an organizational UI for a typically unorganized base or just a sheet. So you can create a UI. The top are the different views of the data. So it's the same data or the same base, different tabs in the base. You could have leads, you could have partners, you could have pipeline UI inside of Airtable. But a lot of that information is very tough for other parties to, to review and understand and just do anything with. So with Stacker, you can create your own UI, blend data, create more of a profile. You can also do all sorts of cool stuff. But show us what you did with this. This is so cool.
Yeah, so this first page, as soon as the partner logs in, they're restricted to only seeing their data. So if on this page here, they can click the edit button and they can edit any of this information. So that way I'm not having to do it all the time. So they can go through, and so if, let's say, help desk tool supported things that they support, so let's say Salesforce, they can go ahead and add that, but then they can go ahead and save it, and this updates it to Airtable. So the next view that I have is referral leads. These are the ones where they want us to be the point person to close the sale. So they can log in here and click the add new and register a new lead or new referral. It gives them the lead status. So after I approve it, it changes to approved. If it's brand new, it's marked as pending. And they can click on this and actually see all the information about that deal. They can also see where the referral lead is in the opportunity status funnel. This is done manually since we don't have a Zapier yet between our CRM and Airtable, but I'm pretty sure we could actually update this so it does it for us. So basically they can see where it is in the funnel. I've included information in regards to, this view doesn't have it, but I do have information where they can see if it's been paid or not, what the status is in regards to them getting paid. Finally, also we have deal registration. This is where they're leading it. And the reason why I have two different views on this is that referral leads is going to be updated manually by us. The deal registration is going to be updated by the partner. So there's different permissions you have to set for both of those. So my partner could actually go in here and edit any of this information and then update opportunity status so that there's transparency to us as well in regards to where they're at in their process.
I love it.
And then we'll also have an opportunity status funnel as well. So we've also included a couple other, so we have a previous portal that we use that allows them to see any legacy transactions that they had, because we'll be phasing that portal out and they won't have access to that information. So I've imported that into Airtable just so that they have it. But we've also included any of the assets that we have for partners. So they can actually choose, they want to do text expander and just see all the products for that. And they want team, so they can go ahead and funnel that down. And this just brings up any of the assets that are available for that. And then one of the things that I've been doing is creating a directory of articles and videos that not only we have created, but outside sources have created about our products. There's a lot of use cases out there in regards to how to use text expander, like law offices or medical. And so they can actually narrow that down and find articles that are specifically about laws or how to use it in an office. But this gives them everything. But again, all of this lives in Airtable. It's just making it pretty so that they can actually understand what's on the page.
Yeah, and giving it UX as well, because it doesn't just put it into a UI, but you can, like she was showing you, add filters and do things that you can do whether you know Airtable or not. Anybody can jump in here and play around with it. And Stacy knows that they can't edit the data. Obviously, that's a big thing. So you can set this up to be a form as well. So you can set this up so that sales can actually bring in leads into the Airtable base through this UI. You can have a form. Add new, perfect. There it is. Here. This is awesome. So the use case of potentially using this as a front end UI for your partner page, that is not something we have here, but that is another use case where you could actually have partners.yourdomain.com. That would be a UI similar to this, powered by Stacker. And you'd be able to show partner documentation. You'd be able to show deal registration. You would be able to show pipeline based on certain deals that are going on at that moment. If you really wanted to, you can do all sorts of cool stuff. So check it out. It's, I think, stacker.app, and then obviously airtable.com. The two would go together. I think the pricing, what are you going to pay? I think it's $49 for Stacker, right?
Well, if you want the role base, you're looking at the higher tier, but even still, it's really not that expensive. We're already paying for Airtable, so that's not a number that we include in this. I believe that for the highest tier, that's what you need for the roles. It's right at $3,000 a year.
Okay, $3,000 a year, so not too bad.
No.
Yes, and it's something that can be customized. So check it out. There's all sorts of templates that you start with. This template that you started with, did you start with a CRM template?
No, I started out blank.
You started out blank. Wow,
Yeah.
well done. And you killed it. This is awesome.
Marketing. They could narrow it down to just marketing agencies.
This is the directory version of
Yeah,
Stacker?
this is the directory version. So nobody can edit anything. It's just a viewable. But then you can click in and actually see more about the partner. Let me go to Dunder. Oh, that's why. So they can go through and actually see all this data. But so as we create those blog posts about snippet groups, we can embed that in here as well. So it's a link over to that so that they can see that, hey, this partner has actually created these snippet groups. Check out what they've done too. So we can embed all of that in here.
This is huge. Yep. Yeah, we have. I'll just show you ours real quick.
Yeah.
I shared this with a couple people. They really liked it. So this is our agency partners. Then we have tech partners. These are just simple bases inside Airtable that have a logo and some more information. And obviously you can open these up and organize this however you want, right? You saw Stacy's. I played around with this for about 20 minutes to get to here. So you can imagine if I were to spend a few days of time on this, it would look really, really good. Look, so partner with this agency. And again, this is powered by Airtable as well. So this will open up a form inside Airtable that will allow them to request partnership. So if I wanted this to be on the front end on directory dot or partners dot or whatever, anybody that I work with can go here and they can say, oh, okay, well, Chapman Bright, this is the agency. They deal with enterprise. They're B2B IT. Okay, yep, I want to partner with them. I'm going to submit Alex a little bit of my information to make that connection, right? We're not quite done with it or deciding on Stacker for ourselves for different reasons. But if I wanted to today, I can have this be available for all my partners and they can sort through all the agencies that we work with closely and pick and choose which ones they want to work with in this nice UI. So imagine if this was your partner directory. If I was your partner, I would be pretty happy if you had something like this showing off everything that I do. Obviously that one's not a good example, but you see where we're going with this. So thank you so much for showing us that. I'm going to put that into the accelerator chat to get everyone maybe tinkering.